If I weren't running, none of this stuff would have ever happened. None of these lawsuits would have ever happened.
Donald Trump going on the defensive tonight after a historic ruling. Today, a New York State Supreme Court judge ordering former President Donald Trump and his companies to pay close to $355 million in penalties in a civil fraud trial. Christian Benavidez brings us more on what this ruling means.
Former President Donald Trump vowed to appeal a judge's decision to impose a nearly $355 million penalty against him in a civil fraud case.
A crooked New York State judge just ruled that I have to pay a fine of $355 million for having built a perfect company. Great cash, great buildings, great everything.
Judge Arthur Engoron ruled that Trump, his companies, and some executives were involved in an ongoing scheme to dupe banks and others with financial statements that inflated the former president's wealth. In his ruling, the judge said of Trump and the other defendants, their complete lack of remorse borders on pathological.
And for years, Donald Trump engaged in deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud.
Friday's decision bars the former president from serving as an officer or director for his New York businesses or any New York corporation for 3 years.
It's not a situation where people have lost money, let alone lost lives because of a fraud. He really does have a viable argument that this is a different justice system applying to him and to his business.
Judge Engoron stepped back from an earlier ruling that would have dissolved Trump's New York-based companies altogether.
White-collar financial fraud is not a victimless crime.
New York Attorney General Letitia James sued Trump in 2022 under a state law that authorizes her to investigate persistent fraud in business dealings. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, New York.
Donald Trump's two sons were each fined $4 million and barred from doing business in New York for 2 years. That brings the leadership of the family company into question.